This episode is brought to you by T-Mobile. Now Netflix is included. Another reason why T-Mobile is America's best unlimited network. Switch today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Honest Trailer Commentary for Wonder Woman. I was going to do it too, but I didn't know if it was a gang sign, so I just didn't do anything.
It is a gang sign,
For
Andy,
what?
for
Yeah,
Wonder
sure.
Women.
Or is it West
for
Coast?
wonderful
I don't
women.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found this to be a wonderful film, and we'll be talking about it, as well as watching the Honest Trailer that we just released today, and share some deleted scenes. And I'm, as always, next to Joe Star.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Just really excited about the response to this trailer. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to getting into it.
I'm glad they liked it. Spencer J. Gilbert.
Dan and I have done the fusion dance. I am now dancer.
Wow. So we're getting a rant from you today, maybe?
Probably, actually.
All right.
Yeah, today's the day for it.
It's been a while. So Wonder Woman, this was, I don't want to start there, but it was a tougher one just in that it's a better film. So usually when we have the better films, they're tougher to do. Spencer, Joe, what were your thoughts on tackling this one?
It's a good movie. It is a good standard issue comic book movie that I think's elevated because you put a director with a different POV and a lead character with a different point of view, and that elevates it. That's like sort of little bit of difference elevates it past sort of the usual, well, here's a Marvel thing and it's got the usual problems, but we like it because it's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always, when you're saying whether a movie's good or bad, I always try to, by what standard, by what context. DC movie, this is great.
Yep.
Yes.
Superhero movie, this is good. Movie, it's fine. Yeah. That was kind of my takeaway, was like, it's a good superhero movie. It's a great DC movie, and it's a fine movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. She's just really great. Patty Jenkins did such a good job of just making her stand alone and strongly, and we wanted to root for her. Like, I agree, though. It's a superhero movie still. But, there's moments that she fought for, Patty Jenkins, especially like that No Man's Land scene, et cetera. Like, just it really affected me, and I thought she does a fantastic job. So it was a kudos. I think it's a fun, good movie. But yes, as we mentioned, that third act gets really silly.
Oh, man. They fall for, every superhero movie cliche in the book. They they did it all.
But I've gotten to the point where, I'm so used to no comic book movies really being able to, overcome that terrible third act that
It's hard to do,
I feel like I just sort of strap in and I'm like, and here comes the terrible third act. I like her, though.
Chris Pine was good in that third act. He helped me get through it, too.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm with you. I sort of like, all right, I liked the first 2/3, so I'll give it this one and give it a little bit of a pass. But it didn't need to go so big bad at the end.
Yeah, it's just the expectations thing. You now need to subvert that. I thought, say what you will about the rest of the movie, but Doctor Strange was really good in that, or even Civil War, where they're setting up the big epic showdown that's going to be the big CGI disposable army or big gray blob of a bad guy, and then they pull the rug out from under you. They did at first in this movie. They did it out of order. At first, there was a subversive ending where you're like, oh wow, the bad guy was inside us all along.
Right.
Nope. It's here he is. He's got the big bill. I will destroy you.
And it was right before that happened, there was a moment where I was like, oh man, I think
Good
they're
for
going to
you.
go a cool
The bad guy is
direction
war
of this.
itself.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
war itself, and she's going to have to deal with the fact that she has a brother that, and they're going to set him up for later. Maybe Wonder Woman 2, he puts on the big dumb helmet,
earn that.
And I was like,
It was
here we
rushed.
go.
And especially since I felt like Dr. Poison actually was kind of an interesting character that I wish we could have learned more about. She was
an interesting looking character.
No, I just
Her
want
character was,
I
love poison.
I think there was the birth of something good, and then they never developed her enough
Yeah.
to give her that. And I'm saying instead of Ari Aries, they should have given her that sort of arc and figure out ways to use her more, because there was something interesting to her.
Was it you that said that they should have just had her and not also Ludendorff?
Yeah,
and
Ludendorff
sort
was
of
a lot.
Merge those and
Yeah.
just let her be the weird, crazy
They had to have
doctor.
the misdirect with Ludendorff, but you didn't really need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, why not have we have the awesome female hero. Why not have an awesome hero female?
And then if you need, if you have to go the route of, all right, it's this guy, it's the guy who wants peace that turns out to be the god of war, you don't need to show his face, because that is the sickliest looking man.
Yes.
Apologies to David Thewlis, amazing actor. He's great on Fargo. He's great on a ton of things.
Weird
but
movie though for him.
He
Yes.
looks like Mr. Burns's diseased cousin, and then
Mr. Burns being propped up in an armored suit.
Yes, it looks like at the end of Wolfenstein 3D when Hitler gets inside the giant robot suit, and it's this tiny little head and this giant robot body. It just something
Doesn't
looks
work.
off. It looks off.
Yeah, or at least
put
like
a helmet
more,
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think if they had gone the route of hey, I'm just going to kind of tell you like it is here, and we're going to do sort of a weird, quiet, sad ending, he would have worked because he has like the acting range to be able to do it. But yeah, the moment he's like, I'm a villain! Don't shoot my orb! Like, the moment he goes into that, you're like, ugh, all right, David Thewlis.
Yeah, and it's weird. Did the audience, I'm curious, did the audience feel like they needed that? And comment below and tell us about it. But did you really need, I feel like these movies sort of feel obligated to spend all this money on the third act finale where, okay, here's where all the
character
CGI
stuff
goes.
is already resolved. So it's
like,
just they're going
no,
to
we
punch it
don't-
out and win. We
don't
know what's
need
going to
that.
happen. Yeah.
We don't need that. It's frustrating that they feel the need to have to deliver on it. And I think if they'd gone something more in depth or actually tell a story there, they still could have had some final battle between two people. But yeah, I wish they would have. Like, I feel like they did the rest of the movie. They showed us this new point of view, and then they just resorted to the same old at the very, very end.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer. But
Still
I
like the movie,
I don't
but
think
that
it
was a
tainted
bummer.
the movie. As you said, well, it's a comic book movie. It's a great comic book movie.
Yeah. It's weird how you can think both of those things without your brain exploding. It's
Yeah.
weird how you can have both of those thoughts. It was good and flawed.
No, not allowed, Joe. It's either good or bad. Rotten or fresh. Rotten or fresh.
Best ever, worst ever.
It's weird how
DC or Marvel?
No, yeah.
Pick one.
Coke or Pepsi?
Pick one.
I heard Jeff Johnson come to my house and be my dad.
It's not coming. It's not coming back, Joe.
Well, should we watch it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I know the first thing we're all going to yell pause on.
See what we did there, guys? All women.
Ladies.
All in the comments. So I
didn't notice
guess
that.
Which a lot of
I don't know
people in
if
the
that was an
comments,
accident.
a lot of people in the comments took that to mean that only women wanted this trailer as feminism.
Complexity with
that was
intelligence
an accident.
and self-absorbed downers with heroism. The DCEU pulls off its biggest success yet by not doing those
Good
things.
shot. Kevin TJ, nice work.
Nailed it.
Wonder Woman. After Supergirl, Catwoman, and Elektra, studios doubted a female-led superhero movie could succeed. Now, Patty Jenkins bravely asks the question, what if a female-led superhero movie wasn't absolute garbage from beginning to
I think
end?
it's fair to say Catwoman,
And
Elektra,
had a
and
powerful
Supergirl
message
are
for
garbage.
girls.
Yeah, no
Save the
redeeming qualities.
world. Look flawless doing it. Be a literal god. Then men might begrudgingly have tolerate your presence.
So, if this woman can read it, we should hear what she has to say. Yes, very well.
Great. Pause. He's such a dick, but it's such a great acting performance, that guy.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
such
Awesome.
the perfect, like, oh, very well. Oh.
He's great. I was surprised he was in such a small scene. That guy's in lots of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a weird, like, one-line day for him. I guess he was just like, yeah, I'll come do it, Patty. I've got an hour.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is Wonder Woman going to get credit for any of what she did at the end?
Yeah.
Because,
She-
like, the only
she
guy
was
that-
definitely seen by many people.
Yeah, the only people who can vouch for her are, like, smugglers or, well, Chris Pine blew up and, like, a couple...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I don't think... I think she's going back to a world. No wonder she went back to the island, because everyone's just going to be like, yeah, sure, bro.
She went back to the Louvre, Spencer. She never went back to the island. She can't go back.
We'll talk about the timeline later, sort of, but yeah, she is collecting all of the evidence, right? Isn't
Collecting
she?
the evidence?
Yeah, like the photos. She wants all the sort of evidence that she was there.
Yeah, well...
Because the photo is the last thing that sort of existed from that time.
So
if
she
I
doesn't
remember
go back to the
being-
island? She just, like, lays
We
low?
don't know.
Yeah, she can't go back. Well, they say in the movie she can't go back.
We are going to see more of Themyscira in Justice League, apparently.
Her mom's like, if you decide to do this, you can't go back. It was like when I left for college, and my parents were like, bye. And I was like, I'll see you
You're
in
not
2
going to work
weeks.
at the quarry. You're dead to us.
You're dead to us, boy. Yeah, she can't go home.
That's what they said.
Then that
We don't
makes
know
it
yet.
even weirder that she didn't show up in World War II, that she was there watching it.
Yep.
Or any
That's
of
fair.
it. Stalin,
any
yeah,
of it.
Bin Laden, Hussein. There's a lot of stuff
Nope.
she sat through.
Just
Let
erasing
them do
her
it. But
internet
the
history.
Ninja
making
Turtle,
sure
that's
no one-
enough.
Ross and Rachel breaking up.
Well, that I understand.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get
We'll
to
get
the timeline
there.
later, yeah.
Very well.
Progress. Settle in for an origin story about the Greek gods. Inside an origin story for Wonder Woman. Inside an origin story for World War II.
The armistice is
Pause.
of paramount.
So, about this joke. Seeing a lot of comments.
Just direct a
A
camera
lot
to
of
Spencer.
comments telling us that this movie actually took place in World War I. Now, we're aware of this. I think anybody who saw the movie is aware of this. Now, you either didn't see the movie... That camera. Now, look, I will admit to a mistake. I didn't see which camera I was supposed to be looking at, but you need to admit that you're a Titanic. Can I swear to Eddie?
A little bit, yeah.
Fucking moron that you didn't get that joke. I will, look, it's on us if we tell a joke that nobody understands, but no, I am going to war with this one. I'm going to World War I with this one, because I know the difference between World War I and World War II.
That was the joke.
That was the joke. And then I was thinking to myself, you know what? Is it too obvious that we play the clip of him saying armistice, the thing that directly led to World War II? We should probably cut that, because people probably get it.
Right.
And yet, no, we put it in, lengthening the trailer, padding it out just to drive the point home to make it extra obvious. And you people who are eating paste and then firing up YouTube somehow, who can somehow operate a supercomputer with your one ham hand slapping at a keyboard with your flipper, somehow managed to type out a comment, World War I. I know! And the fact that you don't know says terrible things about the world as it is today. The fact that you commented, stop, you're distracting me. Distracting my rant. Yeah, basically, if you typed the comment, this actually takes place during World War I, and thought you were giving us some type of insight into either comedy or the movie or history, take your ham hand and choke on it and die and never watch a ScreenJunkies video again. Thank you.
Wow, bravo. We got a rant.
Yeah. I merged with Dan and ranted. I'm sorry, that one really bugged me.
It really bugged me. I started seeing them this morning, like, that's the joke!
The joke is that World War I's the origin story for World War II! Know your history!
Guys, it's like how
that was World War I.
it's like how the Clone Wars were the setup for the Galactic Civil War. I know the difference between the two because one had a lot more droids in it, but it directly led to the events that made the Galactic Civil War and the original trilogy possible.
Exactly. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Just wanted to put it in terms people would understand.
Should we watch the line again?
An origin story for World War II.
The armistice is.
Guys.
Why do you think we played that clip?
Important.
And visit.
Well, they don't know what the hold on. The people commenting, "Oh, it's World War I," don't understand what the armistice is.
Right.
Clearly, they're not getting the joke. That. Anyway,
I don't know what to do for them.
this was a World War. It's the origin for World War II because it took place in World War I, guys.
Treaty of Versailles, guys. Look it up. Look it up.
The origin for World War II. They don't understand. Anyway.
War II.
The
Can we
armistice
replace the honest
is
trailer
of
with that rant?
paramount importance.
And visit the Miscria. The Miscria. The Mesia.
How do you say it? The Mascara?
Visit Xena, Warrior Island, a society of women trained from birth to cover for Gal Gadot's accent.
I love this.
In the event of an invasion.
This belonged to the greatest warrior in our history.
You need to tell us now.
And yes, we
but
pause.
Eris is behind.
We're making a joke about it, but I actually love that they did this
Yeah.
instead of just being like, because most movies I think would have been like Greek British accents. And I love that because she has like a strong accent, they were like, just make everybody sound like that, and
Well, I
it
just
was
wanna-
solved.
With BVS, it was already canon that she talks like the Swedish chef. So they had to retcon Gal Gadot being, hello, I am Wonder Woman.
Is that what she said?
Sometimes. What is marriage?
It's not like Borat.
Exactly. She is basically a hot
That's what
Borat.
you did, yeah.
They had to fix that and somehow make sense. That's the continuity.
I just am very curious,
expect
like
from the
how
DC.
much that was intentional. Of like, okay, well, you can't work on that accent. It's canon now. Everyone else just talking a weird European accent.
Such a good. I think it's.
But
a good
it did sort of. It helps
Because every other movie, if it's not set in the United States, everyone just has a British accent. If
That's
it's
true.
Rome or
Mythology,
Greece
yeah.
or Argentina, everyone's just British for some reason.
Yeah, everyone
And-
in Thor is British. They're not Scandinavian.
Yeah, so I liked this.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was clever, but it's also fun to point out that
Yeah, very
it
fun to
does
make fun
feel
of.
like that's really
Yeah.
why they all had the accents,
Yeah.
because she's speaking in her regular accent, so we have to have other.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if everyone else is speaking one accent. And
It
she's-
is weird that I can like it and also write a joke about it. That's weird too.
What? You can't like
What?
something and make fun
What, Joel? What are you saying?
of What? No. What?
Eris is behind that corruption.
These Amazons have been preparing their whole lives to fight the god of war,
This is weird.
Ares. And you can bet that when
Biggest
war reaches their
warriors ever.
shores, they'll get wrecked by German teams with
Yeah,
bolt-action
firearms have
rifles.
been around for 500 years before World
The other
War I.
thing, I mean, I'm totally nitpicking here, but the other thing that's sort of that shot particularly,
Maybe send
like
out a
pause.
scout?
The fight on the beach, like stops right when they need it to, when Robin Wright gets, spoiler alert, killed.
Yeah.
It's like
And
there's this
everything's
big
over.
war happening, everyone's shooting at each other at the beach, and then suddenly, no! And then miraculously all the other soldiers are dead at that right point so they can all have a moment together.
Yeah, and also for warriors,
I always hate
like-
those from a fighting choreography standpoint. Like, I get it. There's a story beating you there, but like finish the battle before we come.
And also, I get it looked cool to like rappel down the cliff, but I mean, come on, guys, Star Wars, you have the high ground. Just
shoot
stay on the
arrows.
high ground.
Yeah.
It was very odd for the best
There is a
warriors.
deleted scene where Tiffany the archer, who is the greatest archer in Themyscira, just shoots like 15 arrows at once and just murks the rest of them.
Yeah.
That they just, cut for time.
Oh,
But
Really? Oh, you're saying. You're
Yeah,
adding that.
no.
Oh.
Tiffany the archer, not canon. That's
I was confused.
I am
didn't know.
Tiffany the Archer.
I have all my
My
arrows.
arrows.
Oh, let's keep going.
No, this isn't Israel. This is Themyscira.
Maybe you send out a scout once every 500 years, or at least deploy some of your invisible jets. I know you have them. Meet Diana, a girl never actually referred to as Wonder Woman. She's the hero the
they do that a
DCEU
lot in
doesn't
DC
deserve,
movies.
but sure as hell needs right now. She's optimistic, confident, iron-willed, vulnerable, uncompromising, and just so hot. I can say that, right? I mean, I don't want to come off like James Cameron, because it's definitely not the only thing she's got going for, but damn,
Pause.
she's
I don't
strong.
want to put Dan too much on blast because he's not here to defend himself. But he was like, I actually find Robin Wright to be more beautiful. It's like, come on. Gal
She's
Gadot is like
beautiful, too.
the hottest person
Yeah, that
alive.
was the argument of just like, I don't want to make this a thing. At the same time, like, that she is, I feel like the
She's gorgeous. She's a
supermodel.
Miss Israel or something like that.
Something.
Yeah.
Beauty
The
pageant.
movie does a good job calling it out too, where Dawn Tinsley is like, you put glasses on her and she's not
Yeah,
hot
they
as
tried
hell.
to like
yeah,
she's all at her. We're like, oh no, she's got paint covered overalls. No way. Ew.
a ponytail. No one will ever recognize her.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like, are we allowed? But then it's like, how do you? Yes, we have to. That's a
The
definite.
movie makes a big deal. Like,
point
she's
of
like,
it.
God, she's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But she's also all those other things. And then the James Cameron, it was a way to get that quote in there. That was an unpopular quote from a lot of people of him singling her out as a bad female, one-dimensional female character.
Right. Something about because of her outfit. And I thought one of the details I love about this movie is like her armor is like functional.
Yeah. Except for the
it's
fact that her
armor.
thighs are free for bullets.
thighs are free
That was
and kicking.
we have a joke. Yeah, but it makes her kick better, in theory.
But it was Greek. That's they all ran around in those weird little tunic armors with their little bare legs hanging out.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but,
you'd
like,
think
everyone
there
on
would be some
Themyscira-
shots to shoot her, some easy, most.
Because you could have gone just pure sexy, because something we didn't get into is the actual origin story of Wonder Woman, which is like
The weird
Yes.
BDSM
the guy
thing.
in like the open marriage with the bondage stuff.
Yeah.
Look that one up.
Yeah. They didn't go there.
They did not
wisely.
go there. Yeah.
That's why she has the
interesting-
lasso of truth. And
They're
all
making
yeah.
a movie about that, which I'm fascinated by.
Oh, about the creator?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll watch that.
I'll cop to with the comics. I've always every now and then they'll do like an armored leg version of that, and I'm always like, yeah, just do that because she's supposed to be wearing armor, and the costume's like a little too sexy and dated. But I mean, this is pretty much the classic comic costume, and it works on screen. Because I was not expecting it to. When I was like, they're not giving her armor legs.
You can't run in armor legs.
Yeah,
It does
no.
make it harder. She does a
Yeah.
lot of kicking and jumping.
Also, let's be honest, them thighs is bulletproof.
Yeah. I think she is. I think she does
Yeah,
get
I mean,
shot at some point.
she
She's
is
like,
anyway.
ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
she
yeah,
does, that's right.
You can't hit those legs. You can't touch those legs.
Can't touch this.
But
Play
damn,
JT.
she's stronger, faster, and smarter than the men around her. But every superhero has a kryptonite, and hers is not knowing jack about anything.
War. What war?
It's a watch, tells time.
What for?
Why are they holding hands? What do these women wear into battle? Does the average man not sleep?
What is a secretary? At the front? Wait, front of what?
Marriage?
You speak 100 languages. You know what marriage
Yeah,
means.
pause. Like,
Spencer, do you want to say anything else on that?
well, no, I think it speaks for itself. But I mean, she's a warrior, and she's like, they make this point that she's so well studied. She's read all these books and stuff like that. Like, even if you haven't seen a marriage, you can read about it, and like, it's when a man and a woman get married. Or like, she's a warrior. You know what the front is. That's a pretty basic military term. And this is the kind of nitpicks that you guys watch on trailers for. We're taking you to task, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this movie, what else do you do, right?
Yeah, it's a small detail, but I don't know. They kind of wanted it both ways. Of like, she's so well studied.
Fish out of water.
But you want that My Fair Lady section in the middle, which I liked, but we got to point out.
Yeah, it didn't bother me as much in the movie. When you make it out of context and put them all back to back, it does seem a little silly.
Yeah, it didn't bother me with Thor, where it's like he's perplexed by coffee, and it's like, you've had a warm beverage before. Like, come on, dude, you've been alive for a zillion years.
Where can I buy a horse? Yeah, there were some fun Thor moments too.
Yeah, it didn't bug me too much. But yeah, the marriage one, I'll definitely give you that. Where it's like, you know what marriage is.
She knew a lot of other things they were talking about.
There's a few, there's a few in that run where I think she's just picking at him. Like, do you not sleep? Like, just man up and sleep next to me.
Right. What is sex?
What is sex?
That was a whole other debate, which we won't get into here, of the island, sexual politics of the island.
Yes.
That's all in our fans.
This groundbreaking superhero movie, but not so groundbreaking that they didn't put one of the bankable Hollywood Chris's in it. Chris Pine surprises and delights
I
in
really
a
was
performance
surprised
that
by
gives
Chris
him his
Pine.
first lead.
All
in
right,
the
pause
great
on this chart. Is that true?
Not for me.
You
guys talked me into having Pratt that high. I think
Rank your
Pratt's.
Chris's.
I think Pratt's
Evans
4.
hasn't had anything in a while. Civil
Wait,
War
why
was
are they
hardly
both-
in the movie.
Ooh, typo. Or did we mean to tie them for third?
Yeah, weird. They're tied.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, no, I think it's about to change because it was shifting. Maybe. I don't know. I hope so.
No.
Anyway, nope.
Nope. They're tied for third. No fourth.
Evans and Hemsworth's about to have Thor, which should put
But
him
you're saying
higher.
like just
what is
in terms of
what are you
having the most
determining?
recent movie? Because
Yeah,
for
what's-
me, it's like who I think
who's
like
the hottest?
No, well, that's a factor. That's one of many factors. It's the hottest. It's the best acting. It's like the most likable because I think Chris Pratt, yeah, he's in more movies. He's in more recent movies, but he's wearing out his welcome more so. Like I would be more excited that there's a new Chris Evans movie coming out than a new Chris Pratt movie.
I was surprised we put as much thought into this graphic as we did. Because I was just like...
I mean, Chris Christopherson should be higher too.
He should be higher,
if
yeah.
we're being honest.
So I was like, let's just put it... It'd be funny if we had a weird
Chris.
ranking of the Chris's.
Yeah,
He's got double
I would
Chris.
put Hemsworth second, actually, I think. I like Hemsworth even
Yeah.
more.
I think
pretty
Evans is my top Chris.
Is your top Chris? Evans is your top Chris?
Evans is my top Chris. I
Okay.
think he's like the most interesting as far as like he can probably act outside of Captain America the
But
best.
what's giving you that reasoning aside from
Pratt can't. Pratt should be so much lower. Pratt cannot act.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
just the
he
most
can, but he's-
popular.
but
He's the
he's,
popular vote, I feel like.
And he can carry like a TV show, which
Yeah, he was really
has.
good on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, but for me, Evans is so good as Captain America, and he's
And what?
Snowpiercer, and he showed like
He's
an
fine
interest
in
in doing.
Snowpiercer.
He showed it, and
He's good in
Scott
Sun
Pilgrim
and Sunlight.
Pine wins just because not only was he great in this, but Hell or High Water just
Thank you, JT.
completely threw him up. Hell or High Water was amazing.
Hell or High
with him.
Water was
So
great.
I do agree Pine's on an uptick.
It's Pine
But,
Evans for me.
Hemsworth, I think, also has. Anyway, where do you stand on the Great Hollywood Chris off? Tell us in the comments below.
I might put Pratt below Christopherson.
Who's your top Chris?
My top Chris is Pine, then Hemsworth,
Yeah, that's
Evans, Pratt. Well, Evans, Christopherson, Pratt.
I'm Pine Hemsworth.
Ouch.
Pine Hemsworth right now. I'm waiting for Hemsworth to really have a good, meaty, dramatic role.
Yeah, he can. Black Hat.
He's been okay, but it's not. Yeah, but I feel like he and Evans are sort of neck and neck. But I feel like Hemsworth showed comedy chops in Ghostbusters and in Vacation, was it? Hemsworth actually,
Yeah.
and he was really funny on Saturday Night Live. Hemsworth has that going for him on top of being really good at Thor, whereas I haven't seen enough Evans other stuff, but I'm sure he has it in him. We will see. This chart will continue to change. Let's keep going.
Great Hollywood Chris off. But he's more than just eye candy. He's Diana's emotional support, a voice of caution, and a love interest in constant need of rescue. Hey, they gave him the role women always have to play against the male superheroes, didn't they? I see what you did there. In a film with two grounded, complex leads, cringe at villains pulled from a different, much campier movie
But the Musk won't help.
They don't know that.
that seems
What
to
is in the
forget the Germans in World War I were not the Nazis.
I'm one of the good guys, and those are the bad guys.
Seriously expects us to buy this human milk thistle as the god of war, and
very
implies
expensive
that
line.
Wonder Woman
Milk Thistle.
kept
Yeah,
her head down for all
Okay. Yeah. No. Go ahead, JT.
Here it comes.
of Hitler
Okay,
and
now pause it.
Stalin.
All right. Go ahead.
Woman kept her head down for all of Hitler and Stalin, but did suit up the moment Lex Luthor made a Ninja Turtle. You know what? I'm sorry for even bringing BVS into this.
Pause.
Let's just let
This was the timeline thing. We've talked about this, but it oddly doesn't make sense why this felt like they were whipped into this corner thanks to BVS, where it's like, she had to show up, so let's...
Yeah, I wonder what they'll do with Wonder Woman 2.
Where will that
be
take place?
Another prequel or like a continuation? Because she could come back and then, I don't know, erase everyone's memory or something like that, or she just leaves no trace.
I really don't want it to be a prequel. I want it to be, you take, remember those weird Clash of the Titan remakes they did? I want you to take all that stuff, put it present day, and then Wonder Woman just fights it.
That sounds dumb.
What? No, that'd be awesome. It's a good movie.
I think the reason I wouldn't be too mad at another prequel is it frees you from having to tie in all that stuff.
I'm with you.
Like, you can keep giving her own stories and not worry about, like, well, where's Green Lantern?
Sure.
So, I don't know. If they've got a story...
She's so powerful, though. It's like, who does she go up against? Because all these movies have to go up against someone even stronger.
Well, they do the classic superhero thing where, like, your powers got taken by the orb. They depowered Thor. They depowered Superman. Like, when you're too powerful, it's all you can do.
It's true.
When are they going to learn to just not go near orbs?
Don't touch the orb.
Stop touching those orbs, superheroes. It's going to take your
Can't help
powers.
it. Yeah, always does.
Always does.
Yeah, and the sequel will be very, very interesting because they'll probably go forward.
Yeah,
depending
probably.
on how Justice... We'll learn more as Justice League comes because apparently we'll see more of the island. Let's keep going.
Let's just let this one stand on its own.
Please.
So get ready for a film about balancing the good and bad in all of us that contains good and bad within itself in this flawed but important movie that's no less important for having flaws. Is it an inspirational, well-made film that finally gives women a superhero to be proud of? Yes. Does it end with a lightning hands mustache man yelling video game level dialogue?
And I believe in love.
Then I will destroy you!
Press X to
Also
skip.
yet.
It's like, this is when you want to get to the boss fight when you're actually fighting.
Well, spoiler alert. I assume you've all seen Wonder Woman if you're watching this far. But yeah, it was sad too because the Pine stuff was working for me. Like that sort of him self-sacrifice and her learning, oh no, that was enough of a lesson that she needed to learn. I was excited when she could finally win and fight back, but it was very silly, and he was a silly villain.
Mm-hmm.
You were waiting for one of the Howling Commandos to like call in like Metal Gear Solid and just being like, Wonder Woman, you can throw a tank at that wall and it'll fall.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you actually had her like give up and walk away on Mankind, and like Chris Pine saves the day, and that explains why she left.
Yeah.
Like that'd be like a gut punch of an ending where she's like, well, I guess war is up to men. Like maybe I'll come back someday when they're worthy of it.
Yeah, her brother kind of screws up her head with that because he like makes some cool point. Like I like his point of view, and
he didn't have to turn into the big bad guy at the end. He could have still shown up and sort of like, see, you win.
And the whole like love is the Interstellar ending. Again, it doesn't work because they weren't. I mean, they had started to be in love, but she hadn't experienced enough of the world to really be like, no, this guy is really keeping me here for all of
Yeah, but
humanity.
see, I like that because it wasn't just a standard like, oh, we love each other. Like it was more of a complicated love. I feel like they appreciated each other, and they were learning about each other, and that felt more like a realistic.
I liked it
love
too
story that's sort of rare in these movies.
It's also like your first love, and like for her, that's like, your weird like high school like first serious boyfriend where you're like, this is my boyfriend and I will die for him. Like that's kind of what that was for her. So I think it would have that level of impact because there were a lot of comments too that were like, this wasn't feminism. Sure, she was strong, but she was also second guessing herself all the time and loved a man. And it's like she can also do those things.
Oh, girls aren't allowed to do that, Joe.
No, I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
With my flippers.
Yeah, I think we, as three white guys who wrote this, can say that it's feminist in the sense that she's a full-fledged character. She's got three dimensions. It's not she's like just the generic strong woman or just the generic damsel in distress. Like
she's not just there to support the man.
She's not just there to support someone else's story, and she's got a lot going on.
What she does is not up to you. That's a line from the movie.
She can do war just as well as the boys.
Yep,
yes,
sure can.
And the kissing stuff.
Starring
Amazon Prime.
Get it?
Want to touch the piney.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Also the
Touch the
queen
piney.
in Gladiator.
She was.
Princess Cutter-Up.
She
Oh, party boy. Would you...
That didn't make sense. I just wanted to say it.
This
apologies.
A drunk Scotsman. A sneaky Frenchman. A wise old Indian guide. What are these guys? The Howland stereotypes?
Burn.
Pam
Also not very
Beasley.
developed.
I mean, Dawn Tinsley.
From the original Office guys.
Dun, 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 dun. and Snyder Vision.
So much slow-mo.
So much slow-mo.
A
She sort
Justice
locked
League of
into
her
that, too.
own.
Yeah.
Because, like that movie.
Maybe you're better off without me, yeah?
No, Charlie. Who will sing for us?
Your friend clearly has PTSD.
Don't go in there!
Let him go home.
So messed up.
So
That
true.
moment, even
She's
watching
so
it the
sweet
first
about it, like,
time.
oh, come on.
Yeah, come on.
You
Like,
don't have
he
any
was
feelings.
just like, I'm freaking out. And like, come back to war.
That scene was, she
It's
was
all
being
good.
sweet, but yeah, it was
She's
a
trying to
little
make
strange.
him not feel worthless.
But-
But yeah, just send him home.
Let him chill out a little.
Yeah.
Guy
That
needs
poor guy.
therapy. And
That poor
to
guy.
Stop drinking.
Yeah, it's not
You're
gonna
not
do it.
helping Wonder Woman.
I don't want to see any more Snyder Vision ever again.
Well, what do you mean? Slow motion?
Slow motion?
Look,
at all?
so it works in the Matrix because the Matrix isn't real. It worked in 300 because 300 is a movie about a guy telling his soldiers a big bullshit story to get them pumped to go charge at these other guys. So it works. It's stylized. It's fake. He's telling you a story. It doesn't work in these movies. Like maybe once or twice, but they just keep going to it. Like every time she runs into one of those rooms where she's taking back the town, they just, and it's like you can't do it with all of it. Just do it with the first one with the one that we photoshopped the DVD covers on. Like, do it with that one. That one's fine. That's a great shot. But like every time she points her leg at a guy's face, like just let me see it. Just let me see it. Yeah, don't need it. Don't need it.
All
All right.
No, that's my rant.
Joe doesn't need it.
That's my sad
I
rant.
don't
need
mind it once in a while, but I agree he overdoes it.
He does overdo
overuse
it.
it.
And
That would be Patty Jenkins in this case.
Well,
I mean,
it was introduced though in Dawn of Justice.
it's become part of the visual vocabulary of the DCEU.
It didn't bug me as much in this, surprisingly, for some reason. I thought she did it a little bit. I don't know. It felt a little bit more fluid. But yeah, I see your complaint. It's valid. It's a lot of it.
That's my movie fight argument for when we do that topic.
All right, we never will.
All right.
Do we have any deleted scenes?
But with one critical weakness. Her thighs.
Yeah, we did
Shoot
think
at her
so.
thighs, you fools. That shield can't be
Just like
everywhere.
Captain America.
Starring,
thighs are out?
I thought she was with you.
That was Shoot at the Shield.
Princess Di. Chris, Steve Evans, Rogers, Pine, Trevor.
That was almost a
Color me
front runner.
Pine. Those hips don't lie. I put my hand up on your hip. Right said dead. Claire Wonderwood. Ludendork.
Wait, what happened to
Beth, not even
Pause?
Captain-
Robin Wright.
I didn't make
Oh,
it.
that didn't make it?
Yeah. Oh well.
Must not have gotten to Robert in time. Right said dead is pretty great. Claire.
We can go forward.
Blair Wonderwood.
Claire Wonderwood.
Ludendork. Beth, not even once. Captain Britain. Mr. Burns.
I'm Mr.
She who
Burns.
smelt it, dealt it.
I don't know what I meant by
Wonder
that.
Woman, the first Justicer.
Like Captain America. I get it.
Yeah, there were. I think that in general we try not to see what other people are doing just to avoid being accused of ripping off. But I can't resist when a new How It Should Have Ended comes out because it comes out so infrequently. Like I had to watch it, and like they really hit the Captain America thing hard and did a great job doing it. And I was like, well, I don't have anything better to say about that.
Hit, yeah.
So if people are wondering why we didn't make that point.
Because
He
did
did it better, yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just lost my train. Steve Rogers Evans Pine. That was a good name. That almost made the finals.
Yeah, I thought we
Want to
said
touch the
do
piney?
that.
That's it's Sandler, right? I want to touch the hiney.
Yeah.
Want to touch the
Veronica Vaughn.
Yeah. Ooh, why did we
is
do
a-
that?
Piney is a very attractive man.
Yeah, but I
he
just
really
think I
is.
guess I think of Sandler, 98 previous as
Yes.
a completely different
Apparently,
comedian.
this new movie he's in is amazing. The one with Ben Stiller.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a dramatic role he's doing again.
it a Zoolander?
They said it's apparently amazing. I don't know. I'm very curious.
Is
no,
it
it's like a dry. It's the guy who did Squid and the Whale and all those movies.
Who's his like beautician character? The Israeli.
Zohan.
Zohan.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, I could see him showing up on Wonder Woman Island. Hi, ladies. Hi, Zoltan.
To do all their hair.
Whatever, yeah.
Wow, I do not want to see that
I
crossover.
love your Wonder Woman voice so much.
Yeah, he was like an Israeli barber soldier guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot I blocked that movie out of
The
my
Zohan.
memory.
It's me, Zohan, the God Stylist.
Maybe someone put that together, the mashup. Anything else to add, fellas?
No, you can like movies and not be a Marvel junkie or a DC hater. I think it's weird that we're still DC haters, even though we clearly liked this movie. Does she not count?
It's the tide has turned. Stop making fun
Now
of
we're Marvel haters.
Yeah, stop. You guys stop making fun of DC. I forget. It's the
Whatever.
opposite. It's
If
the
we're
opposite
making
of what you
everybody
say.
mad, I think we're doing something right.
Yay, we did it.
And read a book. Just any book. Start with World War I.
Yeah, how about one about the Treaty of Versailles?
Yeah, start with anything, really. Google it. How about that?
Google. Yeah. Don't know. Read a book.
Read a book.
It's not time to Google it.
Baby
Go
steps.
read a book. That's it. We'll be here next week with another honest trailer, as always, and then we'll be commentating on it right afterwards. Have a great week.
This episode is brought to you by T-Mobile. Want to hear how America's best unlimited network is upping their game? Now get Netflix included with your family plan. There's never been a better time to switch.